Hello everyone, it's Donovan for Donovan Watches Movies. I'm about to meet a friend for dinner and a movie. The movie will be Table 19. I've heard it's terrible, but Anna Kendrick and Lisa Kudrow. I mean, you just have to. Anyway, let me talk about Best Actor in a Leading Role. Behold, the 5 men who probably won't end up with Best Actor nominations come this time next year. Number 5, Javier Bardem for Mother. Now, I'm thinking this is going to be one of those movies that has a male and female lead because the movie is about a couple. Usually when that happens, it's, a Best Actor thing. Unless, of course, it's a queer relationship, in which case the lesser-known actor of the two, or the bottom of the relationship, ends up getting a supporting campaign, because that's nice. But getting back to Mother, it's a Darren Aronofsky pick. It seems a lot more grounded than some of his other efforts. It's certainly more grounded than Noah. And it seems like it's going to be right in the Academy's wheelhouse with this story. So yeah, I think Javier Bardem will get in. Of course, we have no real concrete basis as to who's getting a lead push or whatever. It's probably going to be Jennifer Lawrence at least getting a lead push. But I think Bardem is going to get a lead campaign as well. Of course, Paramount is distributing this one. They had an okay Oscar year. I mean, they could have handled Silence better. And speaking of category uncertainties when it comes to queer relationships, number 4, Timothée Chalamet for Call Me By Your Name. So Call Me By Your Name is about a relationship between an older teenager and a 20-something. The 20-something is played by Armie Hammer. Chalamet plays the older teenager. Of course, you would know that about Armie Hammer if you watched my supporting actor video that just came out. And if you haven't watched that video, why haven't you?
In the arms of the angel.
Yeah, I can't act, but I figured I would throw that in there just as a plug for that video. Of course, director Luca Guadagnino has yet to really take off with the Academy, but maybe this is going to be his year between Call Me By Your Name and the Suspiria remake. Number 3, Jason Mitchell for Mudbound. So I may have made a mistake with my supporting actor predictions. I completely forgot about Catherine Bigelow's Detroit Riots film. I'll have that mistake amended by the time I have my predictions up for original screenplay, director, and picture, but I have already made the supporting actor video. So just take this as my word that I do think it will at least get one supporting actor nomination with Jason Mitchell, which means that yes, I think he's getting double nominations this year. It just feels like something that's gonna happen. Of course, this relies on him getting a supporting push for the Bigelow film and a lead push for Mudbound. This could very well be the other way around. Mudbound is something that is very up in the air with category placement. We don't really know what's happening with that one just yet. But I'm guessing he's gonna go lead for it. Of course, if you don't know who Jason Mitchell is, I'm sorry. He was the wonderful actor in Straight Outta Compton who portrayed Eazy-E. I'm surprised there wasn't more of a campaign for him that year, although I know there was one to some degree. But I think he'll make up for it this year with those double nominations. As for whether or not he's going to win one of those, he could put up a very strong fight in either category. I personally think he has a better shot in supporting for the Bigelow film, but of course it's March, so we don't really know anything. I'm just making a guess. And Netflix is in charge of Mudbound, so as for whether or not they're gonna know what they're doing this time around, that's still something that we're not gonna figure out until later. Yay! Anyway, Mitchell is great. I hope that he gets nominated for something. Number 2, Harrison Ford for Blade Runner 2049. Yeah, that's not a joke prediction. I think this is actually gonna happen. People have discussed this as a possible Mad Max Fury Road situation, which I can definitely see happening. But I also think that there could be some love for Harrison Ford this time around. He was, of course, a nominee for Witness back in the 80s, and he was the lead in Best Picture winner, The Fugitive. The question is whether the sentiment will be there. And of course, we have to see the movie too. We have to figure out whether or not this movie is worth all the hype. It probably is. Warner Brothers is in charge of Blade Runner 2049, and it is Denis Villeneuve directing, which inspires so much confidence for it as a film. And for the performances too. But despite being at least partially responsible for some of the great performances in recent cinematic memory, not the least of which is Amy Adams' turn in Arrival last year, Villeneuve has yet to direct any actor to an Oscar nomination. So that's something to consider too. And that's something that should make me reconsider putting forward at number 2. Oh well! Number 1. Donald Sutherland for The Leisure Seeker. Is anyone surprised that Gary Oldman is not on my list for Darkest Hour? I just don't feel like it's gonna happen. So Sutherland has yet to be recognized by the Academy, which is such a crazy thing to think about. He's been such a strong actor for such a long time, and something like The Leisure Seeker could be his ticket to the gold. Based on the story, it's kind of giving me On Golden Pond vibes just a little bit. It's about a husband and a wife who go on a road trip when the wife decides to stop her cancer treatment. So it's kind of like one last hurrah. Helen Mirren plays the wife. I think the Academy at large is going to go for this one quite a bit. I mean, maybe it's not going to be like a production design nomination, but I think this will resonate with a lot of older Academy voters for obvious reasons. And combined possible buzz for the film, which is being distributed by Sony Pictures Classics, and the potential sentiment for Sutherland never having won before, I think this could happen. So the top 5 for Best Actor in a Leading Role in my year in advance predictions in alphabetical order are Javier Bardem for Mother, Timothée Chalamet for Call Me By Your Name, Harrison Ford for Blade Runner 2049, Jason Mitchell for Mudbound, Donald Sutherland for The Leisure Seeker. And of course, those aren't the only 5 actors who are going to be in the running for this. And I'm saying that with the assumption that these 5 men will still be in the running when all this is said and done. Which is of course a ridiculous assumption to make, because it's March. But anyway, other actors to consider include, but are not limited to, Casey Affleck for A Ghost Story, Gary Oldman for Darkest Hour, Daniel Kaluuya for Get Out, Ryan Gosling for Blade Runner 2049, and James McAvoy for Split, plus a whole lot of other people. Of course, if you have any year in advance predictions or thoughts on how the Oscar race might turn out, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button if you like this video. I'm just going for 10 likes with this video. It's still a relatively small channel. And of course, hit subscribe if you would like to see more content from me. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye!